Hello?
Hello.
Yes, this is Director General.
Good morning, dear Director General. How are you?
Very well, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you very much. How are you?
Thank you. Me too. But we are quite concerned about the recent situation. This is why I'm calling you, and I want to find out what happened exactly, and I want to listen your opinion on the situation.
Of course. Are you interested in Syria?
Yeah, correct. And the situation in Syria and in Salisbury cases are formally different things, but in fact are links in the same chain. I think so. We are absolutely sure that those responsible for Syria and Salisbury must be brought to account at different levels, the level of OPCW and international political level.
I think this is the position taken by many states parties, and I'm very pleased by that. As far as the OPCW involvement is concerned, Mr. Prime Minister, we were asked by the United Kingdom to provide technical assistance to take samples and to analyze them in our designated laboratories, which are very reliable. And the work was done, and it is now concluded. And the results, in fact, confirm, as far as the identity of the chemical which is used, we were able to confirm the results achieved by the British authorities. So we don't call with the same name, but the nature of the chemical is in fact identical as far as the chemistry is concerned. So the formula is the same and so on. So they call it Novichok. We cannot call it Novichok because Novichok is a terminology used by Western countries. It's not universally used. So that's the only difference. It's like calling water and H2O. It's exactly the same. But our laboratories and experts, of course, were not mandated to trace the source, the origin of this chemical to any country. The British have taken, of course, their own position because they may have additional information, which we do not have. In any case, our mandate was limited to identify the chemical, which is done now. And the results of analysis do not indicate the presence of any other chemical substance in addition to what we have found and announced.
Yeah, I understand and I know. I don't specialize in chemistry and I have only basic knowledge. So please excuse me if I ask you to explain to me some basic, simple things. So yeah, I know. And for first of all, Salisbury, what I'm interested in. Based on the report, we defined the chemical composition and now understand that those who prepared the substance had a higher level lab. Correct?
Actually, our laboratories found that the chemical substance, toxic chemical which was used, was of high purity. That means, according to our experts, that it could not be done by, say, terrorists or organized, crime or individuals, but rather it should have been done by real experts who had experience in this field, and this could only be done, in full-fledged facilities or laboratories. So it cannot be done anywhere.
But you are not sure that it could be produced by state.
We cannot be sure. I mean, our experts cannot verify this, but they think that it was done by real experts.
Okay, so it's not possible that it was produced by a private actor.
Oh no, I think we can exclude this. Yes, I don't think it can be done.
Okay, so if it is the state, I hope you understand that it could be only Russia or If not, do you have any ideas which other states could develop this substance? In theory, such labs are in Russia, but in Great Britain, USA, Ukraine, and even in Poland as well.
Yes. Mr. Prime Minister, according to us, our experts, it can be produced in any state. So this cannot be excluded. However, also the Russians claimed that there were some research activities on such substances elsewhere, which may be true, but the states which may have conducted such activities would have done it for protective, defensive purposes, how to detect it, how to defend, or I should say, how to develop some antidotes against the use of such substances and so on. These activities are allowed by the convention. They can be conducted and they don't need to be declared. However, if it is such research activities are conducted for the production of such substances and for their use, in fact, to harm people in warfare and so on, of course, they need to be declared. And so far, we didn't receive such a declaration from any member country as the OPCW.
So it could be produced in any country. So I just
in theory, yes.
In theory, yes. So even in the U.S., even in the
absolutely. I mean, in any country where there would be some chemistry expertise, because the material which is used, as I am told by our experts, is accessible. So that's the problem we face with this chemical, toxic chemical. The material to produce it is available without any restriction. However, a high degree of expertise is required, and also a good laboratory is required.
So this substance classified as Novichok, but some Western countries, correct?
Actually, it is the name. Otherwise, the substance is the same.
Okay, and so you don't know how to call it. Is there any possibility that this?
But this is a chemical name which is used by an international association of chemistry. We call it IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, and it is included in our report. So your collaborators may present to you the report. It's classified report. I don't want to mention it on the phone.
Yeah, correct. I agree with you. We also closely follow the position of Russia, even though we are skeptical about Russia in general. There are some remarks. We still don't understand how Skripal survived. Was there an antidote, or were there complex measures to cure them? The closed part of the report doesn't give any explanation how 18 days after the poisoning an undecomposed toxic chemical was found in the blood of Skripal. But
actually, this question was raised the other day by the Russian Federation as well, and our experts gave a response, explained that one of our laboratories was able to identify this, and apparently it's scientifically and technically feasible.
Okay. Yeah, I know, but her father, who experienced more serious poisoning, didn't have anything like that. I don't know why.
Yes, all this I am not able to explain because I am not an expert on
correct.
chemistry. I am a humble diplomat, but I was assured about the reliability of the findings of our designated laboratories, actually, which are very well tested for the past 20 years now.
I'm really sorry that I ask you these questions, but I need to report to my parliament and with my colleagues what they think about that. And I also interested in the position of Russia. The
Yes.
ambassador of Russia, to the UN believes that somebody could inject the chemical into her blood while she was in coma.
Yes, that's what they claim. But of course, this is a crime, what they allege here. And when they raised this at our executive council the other day, the British ambassador reacted very, forcefully.
So it could. So it's not impossible, or I need to.
I don't know whether it's possible or not, but
Yeah.
as far as our organization is concerned, of course, we are not involved in the investigation. So our role was only to determine the nature of the chemical which is used, and it was done. So we cannot really interfere, and we don't have such an expertise to find out whether the material could be injected when the victims were in coma and so on. But the material, Mr. Prime Minister, the chemical substance was also found from the places where our experts collected samples, like the handle of the door, like the places where they were in the bar, in the pub, and a few other places. So it's not only from the blood that they identify.
I know. Yeah, I need to explain. This situation is crazy. They killed animals, destroyed evidence, their houses. Was this what is so necessary, or they should have given OPCW specialists the opportunity to inspect them? The UK doesn't want to share materials of investigation with Russia. Maybe it is wrong.
I don't know. I am not able to comment on this. Their national sovereign, rights. We had a similar incident in Malaysia last year, as you may remember. In February 2017, half-brother of the North Korean leader was killed at the airport, at Kuala Lumpur airport, with the use of a nerve agent, VX. And in that case, the Malaysians didn't want our involvement. We only provided some material. Apart from that, they conducted the whole investigation themselves. So we cannot really impose, on any member country that the OPCW's involvement. And after an initial stage, the UK asked us to verify by inviting our experts, which we have done. But our experts were not involved in the national investigation, criminal investigation. We were only asked to determine the nature of the chemical, which is done.
Yeah, that is. It's really important because of its impact on the political situation. So
I know. So I know that it's going to be debated, but we are very confident, Mr. Prime Minister, if you wish, about the findings of our experts and about the quality of the work of our laboratories.
I know, absolutely, and that's absolutely right.
And this is an independent work. It's not
absolutely.
No one else is involved.
Yeah, that's right, and I agree with you. As I want the second part, I want to talk about Syria. Yes. You know that Poland now is a non-permanent member of Security Council, and yesterday we discussed your report in the UN. One of the issues is denial of access of fact-finding mission of OPCW to the place in Duma where chemical attacks took place.
Yes.
Which evidence do you have? What are the difficulties there? We were able, in fact, to deploy our team very quickly within less than a week to Damascus after the incident occurred. And we depend very much on the UN Department of Security arrangements. They have the authority to coordinate the security arrangements with the Syrian authorities, as well as the Russian
military police, which is controlling this area, Duma area. And they have done some work. On Tuesday, there was a reconnaissance visit to the sites that the fact-finding mission wants to deploy. Unfortunately, the reconnaissance team came under attack, and one Russian soldier was injured, and apparently the two attackers were killed, but the team had to withdraw. Anyhow, another reconnaissance visit is taking place at the moment, today. Mm-hmm. And if it is successful and if they report positively, then there is a chance that the FFM can deploy soon and collect samples and interview people. But all this is subject to the security situation. So we have shown that the OPCW is determined to go to the site, because we were criticized in the past that we didn't do it, and we are willing to do it, provided that security situation permits.
Mm-hmm. How about, Russia cooperates with you, or
They seem to be willing to support the team's deployment. They also did it in writing. And we hope that the situation will evolve and will allow us, the team, to complete its work safely. The safety of our staff, of course, is of primary concern, Mr. Prime Minister. We cannot take really too high risks.
Frankly speaking, we are tired of the persistence, which makes no sense. They're telling us about actors who took part in shooting of fake video, but it is not convincing.
Yes. So as an international independent organization, of course, we don't want to prejudge the outcome of the investigation is underway. If our experts are able to reach the necessary material and information to draw some conclusions, of course we will report them as we did in the past to the states parties. Last year, when the sarin attack in Khan Shaykhun in April did happen, our experts were able to get some samples, and after their analysis, we were able to determine the sarin. And we immediately reported it, and we will do the same in Duma case if we can do it.
And is there any information from the World Health Organization? What do you know about the nature of the attack?
Actually, I wrote a letter to the director of World Health Organization more than a week ago. I didn't get yet a response. And I hoped, I was told that they would share their information with us, but we couldn't receive it yet.
Okay. So Russian claim that they allegedly found containers with chlor from Germany and smoke grenades from Salisbury. What do you think about that? Should we investigate these cases?
Actually, the chlorine cylinders or barrels, when they are, they may be available from market. It may be German, it may be Polish, it may be Turkish, it may be whatever. So it doesn't really give an indication about the involvement of some other countries. These are commercially available chlorine cylinders. Which we found, we saw some pictures of them and so on. And this doesn't mean that there are countries which are supporting them. However, we have also seen in the past that there were cylinders which are produced only for that purpose, to be dropped from air, and which contained chlorine. And so that's more of interest to us, because in that case, we consider that chlorine or any toxic substance as weaponized. So if these cylinders are structured or designed in a manner to be dropped from air, from our point of view, these are chemical weapons.
Okay. And how do you believe that Russia is really cleaning up the place, as State Department claims, and that is why they don't give you access?
There are such speculations. We heard this from a few countries, and we cannot verify it. But in any case, our findings, our investigation will not rely only on the samples that will be collected from those sites.
Yeah, I think we're right in accepting and trusting the conclusion of Great Britain. We have some doubts now, but we are allies and we hope for their integrity to partners. But we are working on all possible options, and I would like to know your point of view. Is it possible that the UK was wrong or mislead us to blame Russia on purpose? This case may negatively affect stability inside our country.
I perfectly understand this kind of political, implications of such incidents. However, our organization is in fact purely technical organization, and our member countries also want us to remain technical, not to get into politics. I may have my own views, but of course, these are just personal views. In any case, we are not able to speculate on the attribution, as we call it, who are responsible of what, and this goes beyond our mandate. That's why actually the Security Council 3 years ago established a joint investigative mechanism, which was chaired by a panel, and they worked on the attribution aspects of the allegations of use in Syria. But unfortunately, the mandate of this mechanism, JIM, as we call it, was not extended because of Russian vetoes last year. So I hope that this issue, and at the moment there is a gap on this.
Anyway, dear Director General, thank you for your support and for your allegation, for your help to us. We want to find out what happened exactly. You should know that.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate, Mr. Prime Minister. I appreciate your call and the support you are expressing for OPCW.
Thank you for your conversation and have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.